Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing great, and I welcome you all to today's session. And we are let's get started. And today, I welcome you to interview preparation. Saraf, can you please change the slide? Okay, so let me introduce myself. I am Himanshi and from Indian Data Club, and this is my LinkedIn QR. And if we aren't yet connected, then you can just scan the QR, and I would be happy to connect with you all. So, yeah. So, before we begin, I just wanted to share with you all like how our Indian Data Club community is growing. So, we are currently active on LinkedIn, Discord server, and Instagram. So, if you haven't checked them out, please you can check these platform and you can connect with us. And yeah, do you guys know uh, we have recently published our Indian Data Club website. It is our official website. Here you can check all the detail, all the information regarding Indian Data Club, and in which cities we are active in, and what are the activities we organize here and everything about this. So if you haven't checked it out, so please go and please like after the session you can check this website out. Okay, so let's meet with our speakers for today's session. Saurav and Ayush, over to you. You can introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? I'm really glad to see you all here on Sunday evening. It truly shows your dedication towards your journey. My name is Saurabh Kumar Saw. I have year of experience as senior executive. Now I have been working as a data analytics at SCL Digital since February 2025. Just few months back, I was also in the middle of the job search, facing multiple interviews, rejection, and learning from every steps. Eventually, I cracked multiple offers, and that journey bring from me here today. So, I am going to share my learnings, strategies, and what are the mistakes I do, and that's actually helped me to get to here. So, this is a small introduction about me. Now, over to Ayush.
Thank you, Saurav. Hello, everyone. It's again truly pleasure to see you all here together, trying to learn something new or trying to take away from this session. So, I'm Ayush. I currently work as a customer operations analyst at Forma AI. I landed this job through on off-campus opportunity, and I'm truly very excited to be here and to share my thoughts with you all and around interview preparation and all. So I would also like to thank the Indian Data Club for giving me this opportunity to speak before you all. And I would like to add that by showing up here, you have already taken a solid step towards cracking your interview. So, without any further ado, let's dive right into the session.
Okay,
Uh, yep,
thank
Himanshi.
you for your wonderful introduction, Ayush and Saurabh. Like before we dive in the session, I just have quick question for everyone. Like, how many of you feel nervous before an interview? Like, you can just raise your hand in the chat.
Everyone raising their hands. Even I feel the same
Me
in
too.
that
Me
situation.
too.
So don't worry, guys. That's exactly the reason why we are here to help you get prepared for your interview. So without any further delay, let's get started. Okay, Saurabh and Ayush, you can continue.
Yes, thank you, Himanshi. So, we have divided the whole session into four different parts. First of all, we would be talking about what you should have in your portfolio before you're trying to apply to a job and before sitting in any interview. Then we'll talk about how would you go about preparing for that particular interview, like any data job that you are applying for. Next, we'll like mention some points that you need to keep in mind while you are applying for the interview, while you are in the interview, and you are conversing with the interviewer and the recruiter. And after that, we have some post interview etiquettes that I think most of the people miss out on this thing, but it is really important to have that habit as well. So we'll talk about all these things during our session. And let's get started with the first one, like what you should have before the interview. And like when I say before the interview, I would say like it's all about building your foundation, right? Because you must know that right now the job scene is very bad, like it's very competitive. There's a lot of crowd, lot of applicants trying to apply to a particular job. Like in one job you would see like 11,000, 12,000, 1200 applications already gone out while you are applying to the job. So how to build your foundation is like, first of all, I would like to really emphasis on to document your journey. Like while you're learning, try to document everything. Try to write the short notes on what you have learned, what all key things that you need to look out for while you are trying to solve any questions around any kind of skill. And then you can also like highlight those key points so that you can, let's say when I'm trying to appear for an interview, I can just take a quick look at the document and then be prepared for the interview, right? And while you are trying to document everything, you can also share your learnings with other folks in the data field on LinkedIn, let's say. So LinkedIn, I would say it's a great platform to connect with everyone. It's a great platform to showcase what you have learned till now, and you like show your journey to the other folks as well on LinkedIn,
I'm
on the in your
sorry
data.
for the interruption, but many
Yep.
people want to say something. Yeah,
Yep.
Chirag, you can unmute yourself and say.
So the basic doubt is that how we can document our journey, in what way or in what sense? Can you give the pointers on that?
Yeah, I mean, like let's think of a way that let's say tomorrow I'm going for an interview, right? And the round is a technical interview. So when I say technical, you must be the interviewer might be asking questions about, let's say, Power BI, SQL, Python, and all those stuff. So what would you need at that point of time? You would need short notes on what topics are important for that particular skill, and like different, like let's say I'm talking about Python, let's say on pandas, like what are the different kind of libraries we have, what different functions we have on pandas. So try to write these small things in a different page of a set of pages. And then once you have that consolidated about around like each and every skill that you are learning, then you can just go through all of them one by one while you are preparing for interviews. And that will like help you brush up the concepts quickly and be prepared for the interview. So you can just like, and like documenting your journey, you can use any online free tool like OneNote, Google Docs, Notion. These are like great tools to have the documentation of what you have learned in the on online, and you can basically go back to it and revise all the core concepts and be prepared for the interview. So does that answer your question, Chirag?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, great. So let's talk about like again like online presence, like, and the how could you use LinkedIn to your best, right? So we all like scroll Insta, right? We all scroll Insta, we scroll through reels and all those posts that we see and like them, interact with them. Why not do the same on LinkedIn? Because like LinkedIn is a great place to connect with every other professional in data field, right? You can just like what I have shared the example of how would you document the learning, like Google Docs and all those stuff. You can use LinkedIn as well to document all your learnings and stuff. So while documenting things, not only you are trying to uh, keep those things in your mind for a long time, but again you're also helping others by sharing your notes with them so that they can also keep use that, and it will benefit them as well. So sharing post, engaging with people on LinkedIn, it's a great plus point in your data journey. And other thing is like try to treat LinkedIn as a mini portfolio, right? You have everything in there. Like you have your journey documented on LinkedIn. So you can have like simple things around what are your skills, what are your interests on LinkedIn. So just everything jotted down on LinkedIn, so that if I'm a recruiter, I am trying to hire some folks for a particular role, and I see your LinkedIn profile, I see, okay, you are not only interested in data analytics, but you are also trying to do something and achieve something in data analytics. So I know that you are really serious for that particular role or any kind of role in data fields. So that will definitely bring a good impression in your recruiters mind. Now, solid portfolio, like I would
Ayush,
say,
I have one question here.
yep, Himanshi.
Like, to both of you, I have a question. Like, you both have a good following and engagement on the LinkedIn. So, can you
Mhm.
please share, like, what are the thing one must post? Like, when we start our journey on the LinkedIn, so we always think like, okay, what should we post? Is it even worth it to post what I am posting? And we have so many thoughts. So can you
Yeah.
please share like what type of things we can share?
Yep, exactly. So,
Yeah.
like when we start, like let's say I'm very new to LinkedIn, I'm new to data analytics, I'm trying to learn new stuffs, right?
Yeah.
So in the, like, while we start, we are very hesitant to post anything on LinkedIn because we are hesitant in, like, well, oh, what will these people think of? Let's say if I'm not presenting my documentation in a better way on LinkedIn, what they might think. Just forget about everyone else, just document everything for your own sake. So you can document, like, let's say I learned some new concepts in Python, right? So
Mhm.
document that on LinkedIn. like while we are on learning phase, document everything, right? You can also have different polls on LinkedIn that will increase the interaction on your particular page, and that will increase your followers. So what are followers, like, what, though that is just a number, right? Even
Yeah.
if you do not have much followers on LinkedIn, if any recruiters come to your LinkedIn profile and see that you have been very active in data field, you're posting stuff that you have learned and all, he or she will definitely have a good impression of you in their mind, right? Because you are not only learning for yourself, you're also helping others, right?
Yeah.
So you can just don't be hesitant in posting any kind of stuff. You just need to be like, yeah, okay, I learned this thing, I'll share it with the other people and other folks on the LinkedIn. So just write it down. Just when you start something, then you'll see that, okay, you are getting positive response on your post, so you'll start loving it, right? So it's
Yeah.
always about taking the first step of
Mhm.
posting
Great
something
point,
on it.
Ayush. You are exactly put the exact point what needed. So I want to add one another point, like consistency. It's not. It's about consistency. How consistency you are about sharing your learning, doing the posts. It's not about the daily. It's about consistency. Maybe you post in the weekly once or twice, thrice, anything, but it's depend the consistency and what you posting. That's matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Okay.
so guys, those who are raising hand, like we will take we will have the Q&A time. So at that time, you can ask your questions. Okay, Saurav and Ayush, we
Yep.
can continue. Yeah.
Yep. So building a solid portfolio, like, third and second and third point is what will help you stand out from the crowd. Like, let's say, like, I am a recruiter and I am trying to hire for a particular job in my role in my company, right? And I already see, like, in the first week I have got 500 applications across different countries, different states and all. But what will help any applicant stand out from other people is to have something unique in their portfolio, in their
Mhm.
application. And having a solid portfolio will help you achieve that. Now, having a portfolio, it's overwhelming to think of, like, having a portfolio website to showcase everything, but trust me, it's not. There are a number of websites that are free to use, that are very easy and user friendly, that, let's say, I have built my portfolio on Google Sites. It's just a simple drag and drop tool where you can just drag and drop different text boxes, different images, and then have it there on your website. So I would say, try to give some time while on building your portfolio, because this will definitely give a benefit to your application while you're applying to any kind of job in the data field. And next we have, like, the ATS friendly resume. Like, I'm sure, like, every one of you must have heard about ATS and what it is, and how to, like, tailor your resume in a way that is ATS friendly. Now, what is ATS friendly exactly? Now, let's say, so what is ATS first of all? So it's a system that scans through your resume and gives a particular score to that. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say, a company is hiring for a data analyst job, and that a company also posts the job description, right? They have a particular skills of set of skills that they require in a particular candidate, and then they'll hire you, or, like, even call you for a first interview. So that first step is the resume. how good are you showcasing your skills in your particular resume. Now I would say keep your resume short, 1 to 2 pages is enough, and highlight the things that you want the recruiters to know about you, right? Like any kind of problem that you have while applying to different kind of jobs, just try to think it from the recruiter's perspective. So if I am recruiting for a particular job and I have 500 resumes in front of me, I would not have much time to go through each one of them in detail, and I would only have like 2 to 3 seconds to just glance through it, and then I'll just make a perspective of that particular candidate, if it is a good fit for my role or not. So try to tailor your resume according to this job description so that the ATS will rank you in a good way. And then also, like, once it is scanned by the ATS, and even if a manager is seeing your resume, then it will just tailor it in a way that it takes 3 to 4 seconds to know exactly what you are into and showcase your interest to the recruiters. So that's around the resume part. And
Okay, so yeah, Ayush, so can you like share some of the website at which we can check our ATS scores?
yeah, definitely. Like there are a lot of websites online. I guess one is JobScan, one is Resume Worded that I have used. So these
Hmm.
websites not only provide a ATS score to your resume, but they also suggest something to improve. Right? They
Hmm.
just tell you that add more bullet points, add more numbers to your resume so that it's good ATS score, ATS friendly resume. So you can just try exploring these websites and use whatever suits the best for you. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
Manikanta has one question, like he's asking, he like what are the things we should add in our portfolio? So can you please answer this?
yep.
Yeah.
So one thing is, like, there are a number of things that you might add in your portfolio. First of all, the most basic thing is about you, like a picture of you. What are you trying to find? Like, what kind of jobs are you looking for? What skill set do you have? These are all the basic things that I think everyone has in their resume, either on their resume or on their LinkedIn. What will help you stand out is, let's say, you put a video resume of yourself in your portfolio. Like, having a video resume is like it's in trend right now, and it will definitely, again, like, let's say, like, I am trying to speak, I'm speaking of what skills do I have and what I'm looking for in data field. So going through that particular video, the recruiter is will have a initial perspective of yourself, right? They will have an initial perspective of what you are trying to looking for, and if that candidate is suitable for my role or not. So try to have a video resume in that. Other than that, you can also try to write some blogs on different topics around Python, machine learning, any stuff that you want. Try something different from the crowd, like try writing some blogs, right? And other than that, I guess you can also have all the projects listed down on your portfolio, and the relevant links to your github website, or github code link that you might attach to it. So having these kind of things will definitely help a lot. And there are numerous portfolio websites example on Google. So just Google everything and you'll get the answers. But I guess, like, this initial uh, thing will help you at least kickstart your portfolio website making, and then it will definitely, as you grow, you will add more things to it, and definitely it will be a it will bring a positive impact to your application overall. Okay. Now, the last but not the least thing, like networking. Right now, it's always about the relationship that you have built with other professional folks and all, right? So I'll just give a example of what I faced while, like, why how networking helped me in my journey. So what happened is, uh, I applied for a company, let's say X. I applied for a data analyst role at a company X, and what I used to do is, I don't just apply to a particular job. I reach out to the HR for that company, and I reach out to the managers of that company as well, so that I can have a casual conversation around what the company does, like how's the work culture around there, and how I am a good fit for that particular role. So I reached out to a manager for that company X, and I started a normal conversation with the manager, and I used to follow up on my application every week to that manager, right? So what happened is, like, in the fourth week when I asked him, like, hello, blah blah, is there any application, is there any update on my application? He mentioned that, oh, you didn't get the email, then I guess you were not shortlisted for the interview rounds. So seeing that message, it broke my heart that I was trying so hard to get that company, but again, uh, I was not shortlisted for the interview round. But I did not back up. What I did was I asked for his feedback. I sent him my resume. I asked him like, okay, can you please go through my resume for like a couple of seconds, and please let me know what should I improve in my resume, so that next time I apply for a particular job, I get shortlisted at least for the interview round, right? Then what he did was he went through my resume. He came back to me saying that, okay, your resume looks fine. You will have the first round of interviews with the HR, and she will reach out to you, and then we'll move forward. So what happened is, even though I was not shortlisted by the HR team at the first place, my networking helped me. Right, I was conversing with that particular manager of that company, and he helped me get that interview, and then I cracked the job. So this is a simple example of how networking will help definitely in your journey while you're trying to apply to jobs, while you're job hunting and all. So I would say, like, engage with other people, or like try to, like, even though you are not applying for a job, let's say I'm trying to build up a network, and let's say I have someone working in company X, and have I aim to be in that company at a particular role, right? So try to search folks for that company, like in data analytics role, and just reach out to them saying that, okay, hello sir, can you please share your experience of working that at that particular company, that might help me grow in my career, right? Just have these casual conversation with the recruiters or the manager of different companies. So these will help build your network, and it will definitely help you in the long run of job hunting and applying for jobs and getting prepared for interviews and all. So yeah, sort of anything you want to add, sort of great.
So you already added all those things I could say, and I would say like networking means not it's all about online or LinkedIn. You can attend the offline meetups. You can saw like IDC conducting their meetups in different locations in different time. So you can attend this, and you can get the valuable information and reference also in that meetups. So don't miss that opportunity to attend any offline meetup also. That's I could say.
Great point, sort of great point.
Yeah,
Thank you for
totally
adding that.
agree with both of you. Like, uh, just connection, just keeping like it's very important to connect with the people whom we are following. Otherwise, these are just the
Right.
numbers on our profile. Even like just a small talk, or sorry, I mean just a small comment or just a thoughtful message will help you a lot in your journey, like connecting with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have another story. Like, when I was starting off with data analytics, what I used to do, like I used to do the same thing, like reaching out to people, asking their guidance on data analytics and all. So I was fortunate enough that I got my first mentor through LinkedIn. I reached out to him. I asked him that, okay, I am trying to get started with data analytics. Could you please help me with anything that you might have to share with me? So he was very helpful. What he did was he set up a call with me for 2 to 3 hours. He explained each and everything. He gave me a roadmap of how you should start and what website should I use to learn these things. And I, that was a game changer for me. I I am still in connection with that person, and I still like reach out to him for any doubts that I have and converse with him on different things that I'm working on. So it's definitely a very good thing to have good network in your LinkedIn profile, like in your LinkedIn, and actually have meaningful conversation with them. Okay. Uh, now we have talked about like what you guys must have or should have in your resume, or like different portfolios and resumes on documenting stuff and all those things. Now let's talk about like how would you prepare for for an interview, and like how would you sharpen your skills, right? So that part I would like to share with you guys, and over to you, Saurabh.
Yeah. Thank you, Ayush. So you already set up the stage. So everyone now ready for interview. So this is what if you're doing before your interview. So your chances of getting responses, maybe interviewer scheduling. Then what are the steps you are going to do? What next? So once you are getting the responses and interviewer scheduling, so you first step is you should research about the company. So once you get the call from HR, so first step is like research about the company. So what you should you research about the company? You should research like it's the product based or service based company, or if it is a product based, what are the product they are working on, in which domain they are working on. If it is a service based company, so they work on different domain. So you should talk with your HR what the domain or what the specific project they hiring for, so accordingly you can prepare. So let's say they hiring for you for finance domain or HR domain, so you can go through it before the interview. What are the key performance indicator like KPIs, what we sell, and how it is really helpful or how it can make impact in their organization. So you can go through it before your interview. And second thing is revise the
All
core
right.
concept.
Like I have here a question.
Yeah.
So, like, is there any place or website where we can search about the research about the company, like their background and culture and everything?
So yeah, it's so simple. Like whatever the company you are getting, you go to that website or their LinkedIn page. In their website, official website, you get to know all of these things like uh, about their company, about their mission, vision, all the things. If you want to check their rating also, someone commenting Glassdoor. If you want to check the comments or rating about the company, you can go through the Glassdoor or Google reviews to get to know about those things. But for about the company, you can go to the official website to get about their mission, vision, and all of the what they were working on, which area they were working on, all of the stuffs you get to know in their official website itself. No need to go through any other things.
Uh, Just adding one more point to what
Yeah.
Saurabh said about researching the company is like, let's say like I'm the recruiter of a company. I'm trying to hire you for a particular. I'm taking your interview, right? So if you have some done some research for the company of the company, it will definitely help you stand out from the crowd, right? Because if you can in somehow blend what you have learned for that company, what you know for the company that you are applying for, and blend in your conversation with the recruiter, that will definitely give a positive impact to your resume, to your application, right? So it's a good practice to research about the company beforehand, before the interview, and be prepared for any question that they might have. So yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
right, absolutely. Because that's create a impression like you are doing research, you are more interested about this company to joining that company. So it shows your enthusiasm. And next point is revise the core concept. What the mean? Like previously we discussed, like you should document all your learnings, right? So now it is going to helpful. Once you have documented all your learnings, maybe in any platform, maybe LinkedIn or is in Notion, in your document, or write in a handwritten note. That might be anything. But once you created these things, you don't have to hurry like before the interview, looking at or searching on LinkedIn like most are interview questions. Like this search, you don't have to need to do. You have own resource. Go through it and revise those things. Uh, what exactly I am doing in my journey, like I keep the all the notes using Notion, and every day basis in daily, you could say, before going to the bed, I go through these notes. Because if you look at your Power BI or SQL, any notes, it can cover hardly 20 pages. You can cover all these things, core concept. So you can go through in the daily basis. Maybe first day or so, first couple of days it may take you to 20-30 minutes to cover all these things, but gradually the time is decreased, like you spend maybe 5-10 minutes. It's not only help you to, I mean, it's really help you practicing in daily basis. It's also help you brain muscles, like you are regularly practicing those things. At the same time, revise core concept means also you have to practice like technical skills like Dask and SQL, because these are the most important questions are going to ask in the interview. So that's also you do in the regular basis, in daily basis, I could say. So that's make you hands-on, preparing for the technical stuffs. And next thing is practice the mock interview. So now you may think, how can I take the mock interview? It's you can do the mock interview with your fellow learners, or may you can reach out to some industry professionals on LinkedIn to asking for let's make a mock interview session. That can be happen. I don't know if you saw like get a chance to mock interview with Sasank, who runs the Learn with Geeks YouTube channel. I gave this mock interview. After that, I feel more confident. That is why I'm putting this point because it's like a revision. I mean, you already feel like you are in interview. So it's already when you in the real interview, you don't feel like it's my first time. You are already done that, right? So that's really give you the more confidence. So try to figure out your partner or fellow learner, do this mock interview. It's really going to help, I could say.
Yeah, I
And
have also seen the video like where you have given
okay,
the mock interview with Learn with Geeks. It was really great. And the
okay.
confidence and clarity you have while answering the question was very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's what, because when you do these things regular basis, gradually increase your confidence and the clarity. Before I am sharing, I want to know like how many of you tracking your progress and how you are tracking your progress. Anyone tracking? Write in the comment or unmute yourself.
I
Please unmute.
recently started in Notion to track my progress.
Okay, what are the things you are tracking?
Actually, I started with the Power BI and SQL. I used to write down the topic every day. I mean, I go through the documents and make a notes of it, and also do some questions related to the tool, either it's SQL or related to DAX. So that's how I just I give that topic and mention what I've learned today, like
Okay,
that.
that's great.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Am I audible?
Yeah, Devya.
Yeah, so I have this habit of writing in my journal. Other than that, if I find a video particularly hard, which I can't solve on my own, like doing hands-on practice, so then I do some hands-on practice and I keep watching it till I can understand it. And if I can understand the hard ones, I know I have made some progress. It's a very simple thing, but it makes a difference.
Exactly, the way that's a great thing to do. And I would say like uh, there might be a phase where we all feel very like demotivated around, oh, I'm not able to crack any interviews, or am I progressing enough for that, for getting that job? And we have some questions in our mind, right? Or are we doing it the right way or not? So having those having those things that which actually tracks our progress, like let's say I learned something today, and then I am coming back to it a few months later, then I know that okay, I started with zero, and I now I am here, I am at this place. So that will definitely give you some motivation to go on, right? So tracking of progress also helps in that way to keep you motivated around the journey of data analytics and all. So I guess Saurav is back, right? Saurav, can you hear me? Okay, I guess Saurav is facing some technical difficulty, so I'll go on. I'll move ahead.
Okay, before like people have some questions like
Hmm.
round, just a minute.
Yep.
Like they were asking like do we have any website for our portfolio website for making?
Yep. Like the one that I have used is Google Sites. It's just a simple drag and drop website. You don't need any coding experience to create a website on Google Sites. So you can just drag and drop all the pictures, all the resume pictures, and your video resume as well. You can link it in that particular portfolio website, and you are good to go. So that's one, Google Sites. Other than that, if you are familiar with GitHub, you can also use that as a portfolio website, and you can also use Notion or like you can Google more stuff around around portfolio websites. But I think Google Sites and GitHub are the two best websites to have your portfolio website on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is there any website for mock interview, like where we can give mock interview and practice?
Yeah, I think there's one with Google. I think it's interview warm up with Google, I guess. So it's pretty good. It's like it's not voice based, it's text based, but again it will give you an idea of what kind of questions the recruiters might ask you in the interview, and then you can answer those. And the website also gives you a particular score out of 100, out of 50 on what how well you have done in that particular mock interview. So you can use that. And other than that, friends are the best resource for having mock interviews, right?
Okay, we can move forward, and in the last we will take the questions.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, is Saurav there?
I think he's not.
Okay. Okay, no worries. Okay, next thing is like we have everything set up, like our resume is set up, our portfolio is set up, we are all set to go for the interview, right? But even we, like, there are a couple instances where I personally felt like, okay, even though I have everything set up in my portfolio, I have everything, every prerequisite done, I'm still very afraid on going to the interview, and what things would I mention, or what how should I talk to the interviewer and all those stuff. So next we'll be talking about how should you present yourself in an interview and deliver with confidence, right? So the first and foremost, the most important thing is stay calm. Staying calm is the key to, you know, showing your confidence to the recruiters. So let's say an example to that is, let's say a recruiter asks me something around some technical questions. I do not know the answer yet, right? I do not know the complete answer, but I know the answer in bits, right? So many a times what we do is like we panic a bit, and then why when we panic, then the words that come out of our mouth is not am I not audible, Himanshi?
No, you are audible.
Okay, okay,
Yes, yes, audible.
okay. So you do not have to panic. Just take 2 to 3 seconds, pause, gather your thoughts, and then answer. Right? That's the best example of staying calm and collected. So you do not need to panic through your interview. It's just think of it as a conversation with you and the company stakeholders. It might feel overwhelming that, okay, I'm talking to the company stakeholders or the recruiters. It might be a little, like I myself felt a little afraid of going to the interviews, but again, think of it like drink some water, stay calm, and then you will be able to answer everything that you need to in the interviews. And it's not about always giving the right answer, it's also about showing the will that you want to learn, right? Yeah, exactly. If you do not know the answer, then again you can show that you are trying to learn these things and you are doing your best to achieve that, right? It's not about giving the perfect answer each and every time. Next one is be
Yes,
honest.
I have some
Yeah,
network issue.
no worries, Saurav. I guess
Okay, Gaurav is
you're
back.
back.
Yeah.
You can present, Saurav.
So you covered this. Okay, we are talking about track your progress. So may I believe that I have covered these things. I just
Yep.
added one or two things. Then I will move forward. To track in progress in the means like you have to track your each and everything. Like how many jobs you are applying for, and how many responses you are getting, and what the stages you are crossing, and at the same time also track your interview. When you attend the interview, after the interview come and write down what area you do perform well, what area you should need to improve. Like you cover answer able to answer all of the questions related to Power BI, but not able to in SQL. So write it down somewhere. So you can work on that in your analysis, like where you are lacking or which part you have to work on. So this is all about tracking your progress. Then during the interview, although you already know these points like stay calm and collected and be real, be honest, and keep it clear and concise. So here I want to share something. Mm, so actually, I have joined 3 months only, but at this short span of time, I am glad that I get opportunity to take the interviews also. So I take couple of interviews. I am sharing some interesting things from my experiences. So how the interviewer think when they take the interviews. So first of all, the some I am sharing some key takeaways like in that way. So whatever you know, present in the grounded and honest way. Don't try to oversell or use fancy word to sound impressive. It is not going to work. So remember one thing: when you are introduce yourself, save the direction of the interview. How you are going to tell about yourself, the interview, all over the interview going in that direction. So if you start in the very high note, let's say you are telling, I know about SQL, Python, all these things. I know about AI, MLA. I also work on Dask, and all these things you are mentioning in your first sentence, like about yourself. So this already set a high note. So they believe like you already know many things. So the questions are coming to you accordingly that level. So don't try to do that. In the initial time you can tell what you are more confident on, like you are more confident on Power BI, tell more things about Power BI, or you are more confident in Python, whatever it may be, you focuses on that part. So when you are going to explain the questions, I mean when some interviewer asks a question, you are explaining that. So he or she don't set a expectation too much high. So you can make their expectation. And also if you able to answer it very clearly or perfectly, then you are able to meet their expectation, or you can exceed that also. That's really helpful, I could say. Don't overwhelm, like telling that you know everything. And another things I observe, we are hesitating to say no if we don't know some answers. It's totally fine that if you say no in the interview, there is nothing wrong in on that. But at the same time, you have to show your genuine enthusiasm or interest on that. So you have to show that I really want to learn this, but as of now I don't know these concepts or whatever it may be, but I will definitely check out after the interview, and I'll go through these things. So that shows your enthusiasm and your interest to learn the new things and crack cracking that things. And I want to give you one example, while I am taking an interview, uh, he's says I asked question like how you rate yourself in Power BI and Excel. She rate herself I rate myself 8 out of 10 in Power BI, and Excel is the same. So I believe that in Power BI he good enough, she good enough to and know all these things. So I start asking on the question like from data modeling. And she's saying, I know, I don't know these things, but when I said how it is going to be 8, he don't know about, she don't know about DAX and data modeling, how it can be 8? You should be honest and genuine. That is what this point is. Be real and be honest. Don't try to everything, or sometimes people what they do, confidently give the wrong answers. Don't try to do that also, because be confident, but at the same time you should be clear what you are saying, and what the response you are doing. So take care about these things. This is I am sharing from my personal experiences while taking the interviews. Hopefully, that might help you guys.
I'll add one more thing to it, Saurabh.
Cheers.
So, think of it like when you are interviewing for a particular role for a company, think of it as a journey with the recruiter, right? And you have to be in the driver's seat, not the recruiter. So you'll get that chance to be in the driver's seat when you are introducing yourself. Like as Saurav said, do not set the uh, expectations too high while you're introducing yourself. So keep it in a medium level that you know that definitely if the recruiters ask some question from your introduction, then you might be able to answer it. So if you
Yeah,
set the tone in a good way while introducing yourself, then you will be in the driver's seat and you will be definitely drive the interview and you will be seeing positive results from the interview after that. So
absolutely correct.
that's what I wanted to add. Just
This really matter because it's not about, it's about how you are answering, because that next question come with your answers only, not from other sources.
yeah,
So you already know that what to do in the interview. So here I want to share you the what type of questions or the what type of round you can face during the interview. In my interview process journey, I attended multiple interviews. Some are startups, some are MNCs, some are very large company, and some are. I mean, I attended different type of different domain, different segment of the companies while I am preparing. So accordingly, I am sharing you the what the type of questions you might face. But remember, like every companies have different flow, different way of taking the interview. Like some companies are focusing on domain knowledge, some companies are focusing purely on technical skills, or some companies are looking at your problem solving skills. Like they are going to ask you some guesstimate question, puzzle questions, all of these things. Like here I mentioned first thing everyone know, like technical questions, like that may be from SQL or Power BI, whatever the technical things is. And the behavioral question is nothing about they want to understand your perspective, asking you some guesstimate question, or might be like puzzle questions. And I'm telling you now I am where I'm working, that interview process I want to share with you guys. So first round is like it is mix of round, I could say. This is the mix of like technical and behavioral like things. So I am not able to perform good at in technical rounds. Like in the technical interview round, they ask more questions on Excel. So, but I am not able to answer some of question in Excel. But at the same time, let them know like I am more good at Power BI. Whichever you are good at, try to convince them we can do the same things using the other tool or other way that might help you and a more effective way and a more precise way. So I want to pitch myself in that way, and going forward that I am able to crack that, and that's going forward. Next interview round is totally behavioral. They want to understand like domain knowledge, what is the domain I know, and how to handle those data, how can you analyze this kind of domain knowledge data. So it's totally depends like how you are dragging your interview. So if you don't know something, you can drag in the different way, that telling that I know in the different way how to solve this question, but I'm not able to do it this in the right currently, but I can do it in the different way also. That is going to help. And this type of question you might face. And I could say that puzzle question you might face very few time, because very few companies are going at that puzzle question or guesstimate at the, I also could say. But currently you should I mean the diversity is changing. People are not worried about technical skills, like everything is like AI coming, chat GPT, all these things happening. So every companies are looking around your problem solving skills and your behavioral things, like would you culture fit for that organization or not. These are mattering a lot right now. That maybe in future that is going to be more priority. These are things.
Yeah,
And
so I think people are raising hand from a long time. Let them just give a moment. Like you
surely,
can,
now only I get the chance to talk to the audience. Let me give a time. So here we are consolidate some questions which from the Discord, which you are asking only. So here is
Mhm.
the first question. How do you validate data to ensure your report or dashboard are accurate and reliable? So before we are going to answer, I want some answers from audience. Please, anyone can unmute and share the answers.
Guys,
I
please
want to say,
unmute. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I have learned this technique from the Code Basics learning module itself. So the first is very simple. So I mean, to validate the data, I just convert whatever the visual is to the basic table visual. From there, I used to compare the values given in them from the data set.
I think
Okay,
there is
so
some
values
net.
are correct. Yes, and the second point is uh, the benchmarking numbers, which as they has been explained in a very easy manner. So having a benchmarking number can help us directly give a better perspective of whatever the visuals or uh, presents. I mean presentation which we are showing basis on that we would be able to get an idea how accurate we are in terms of that. So these two things I follow particularly mostly. That's all for my end.
Anyone else that who wants to share anything?
I can try. I might be wrong, but I can try.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, yeah,
Yes,
that's totally
please go
fine.
on, Divya.
So in Excel, we can, while doing Power Query, before making the reports, we do that step. So we check the column quality, column profile, and all those things. So in that case, we validate. During that time, we do it. At least in the course, we did. So yeah.
Yeah, that's totally correct. Actually, that is the way we can fast and we can validate the data using Power Query. So I use you can take now.
Yeah, thank you, Saurav. So good answers from everyone. I would say I'll just recollect everything and present. So before like validating the data and ensuring that everything is correct or it makes sense, we we should know about the business problem, right? We like even let's say I do not know anything about the business problem that I'm working on. Like I just took the data and did some analysis. It won't make any sense. Like I will need to understand the business problem before validating the data whether it is making sense or not. So like if I take an example, right? Um, like if you're working in a company and the questions might come up from the stakeholders, like they might be very open ended, right? Like for example, if I'm working for a retail company and then my manager comes to me and say me that, hi Ayush, I am seeing that our product has like the sale of our product has significantly decreased, let's say by 20% in this particular region. Do you know why? Now this is a very open ended questions. Like I do not have everything that I need to have to analyze the data. So come back to them with questions, go back to them with questions so that you know the business problem end to end, and then you analyze the data and then you know that okay, this might make sense to them. Now before going to the stakeholders with your representations or dashboards, what you can do is you can ask your peers to like give some feedback on your projects, right? Because having another perspective definitely helps, right? You are seeing your problem through one perspective. You know that okay, I'm working on this, then this is how I think I should present it, but others might add something to it that you might have missed, right? So having a different perspective definitely helps a lot while you are trying to preparing yourself for presenting your data to the stakeholders or managers of your company. So I'll say that, yeah, this is how we would suggest to ensure the data validation things around. Yeah. The next question that we have is around how do you like handle large data sets for effective analysis. So again, like the data out there is huge and it's very messy. I would term it as bad data, right? Because it's not yet very useful for analysis and all kind of stuff. So once you get the data, it's huge. It's bad, like not bad in a way that it has some inconsistencies, it has some null data, the format, the data field is not consistent across the data. So these many things are there, it must be there in the data that you get it in the first place. Now, to prepare that for effective analysis, what you can do is, let's say I have millions of rows in Excel, like taking Excel for example. What you can do is you can break the data into different chunks, smaller chunks, so that you can analyze on them one by one, and then in the last you will see that okay, I have the complete picture now, right? I have the complete picture of the data, and I have exact analysis that I need to do, and that I needed to do, and I like broken into different parts, and then I achieve that particular thing. So try to look out for data inconsistencies, try to have a consistent data type for your data, and then do the analysis. So that way, again in this scenario also, business knowledge comes in very handy. Once you have the important business knowledge of what the data is, what does it represent, then only you can like do any kind of data transformation to it, and then you can use that data to analyze anything and then present that to the stakeholders. So any other thing that you guys need to add, want to add in it?
Yeah, hi Ayush, Nagendra here.
Yep,
Am
and
I
again,
audible? Yeah.
yes, you are.
So I heard that in many cases, we do have a dedicated data engineering team to support us in data pre-processing and data cleaning. Isn't it? I mean, are you working in a real-time role? Like, how was it in your team and in your organization?
I mean, the company I'm working on is a startup, so I am the data engineer, I am the data analyst, right? So the data that we have is like the data that we get in the first, it's messy, right? And in bigger organization, there are separate teams to handle those inconsistencies and prepare the data so that you can, like data analysts, can use that for effective analysis. But again, it varies from company to company. But it's not always that you do not have to touch the data at all, and you can use it as is for the analysis. You still would need to do some kind of transformation, some kind of checks around data to make it good data and used for analysis.
Yeah, it's all about I believe normalization. You normalize the large data set like using different tables, normalizing multiple tables. That's about. But it's totally depends upon the organization to organization how they working, like how they you have to do the normalization the better way to the handle the large data set. It's-
Yeah,
Got you.
exactly.
Thanks both of you. And
Hi,
I know, even though one more minute, even though we have a dedicated data engineering team, as you said, we must need to know how a data cleaning or data processing should be. Otherwise,
Exactly.
we'll fail in verifying the data and we'll
Hmm.
proceed with the wrong analysis.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you both.
Yep, thank you.
hi Ayush. I had a question. Like just now you mentioned, right? When we are doing data cleaning and all, we need to have some like domain knowledge, of course, for the problem solving skill as well. Like if I have a data and I like particularly I don't have that kind of domain knowledge, so I'll delete some. Let's say I let go of some data which is important. So
Hmm.
could you share some resources or anything from where we can get domain knowledge, like better for KPIs, key matrix, and all this, so that we can because it's important for problem solving skill, right? That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, like all the projects that you work on, first of all, try to gather any information that you might that you can from the data from online sources, resources, and all. So let's say uh, I did a project on shipping companies. So
Okay.
on like building a dashboard on shipping companies, how they do. last quarter and how their performance compared to the previous one and what things they can improve on. So this domain was completely new to me. I did not know a single thing. I did not know a single thing around what shipping is, what do they do, and the basic terminology that they use. So once you have the data, like there were multiple Excel sheets. So not all the sheets were useful for the analysis, right? So like
Yeah.
just Google search everything, right? Everything like I feel like everything is out there for free, but you think you need a particular mentor, you need a particular roadmap to learn anything, then only try to like spend some money on those stuff. But again, try to search on Google like what does this mean, like what are the basic terminologies that they might use, and then you can again go back to the data. So what I do is like first I read through the data, I have the data, I go through it, I see if I can understand anything. If not, I go back to Google or go back to the particular website that posted that, and then I go through all the description that they have provided, and then again I revisit the data. So the second time I revisit it, it makes more sense to me. That I know that what are the KPIs that needed to be defined and what I need to analyze in order to like be more effective. So it requires multiple iterations for you to understand how the data is prepared and what you need to extract from the particular data, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I guess,
So basically, it's like you have to. It's a free hand. You have to go on searching on
yep,
Google, and that's the only way.
yes,
The
exactly.
one thing I like to add, like when it comes to the domain knowledge, all the things we can't learn without working in the organization. Because even if whatever you do, however, learn the domain knowledge, once you go into the organization, there are the mod of different things. They have different structure plan. They have doing the things the different way. So it's all about know the basics. If you are looking at the finance domain or HR domain or like any banking domain, whatever it may be, know the main KPIs things, like what are the more used, like or used things. Know about these areas. Then accordingly, once you look at the data set and talking about the problem statement, you get to know more and more about that domain knowledge.
Yep, exactly.
Hi, Aish.
Hi everyone.
May I go first?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
Kiran. Yeah.
Thank you for this. And the one question we come across in every interviews of data analysis or data engineering, that is, how will you handle missing values and null values or empty spaces on the data set we get from the source?
Hmm.
So at this point, I have seen many people answer like, I would approach the seniors or business stakeholders directly, and otherwise senior manager who is authoritative above me. So I feel awkward at this answer. So have I have a question here? Do you have such instances already faced in your journey till now in the company, or how did you handle? Have you ever met business stakeholder? If so, please reveal one situation. Or I have seen people answering that it is column dependent and it's a domain dependent. So likewise, how should we as a fresher should answer for this question? How will you handle missing values?
Yeah. So again, like it depends on the data, and it also depends on the volume of data that you're dealing with. So let's say I have a smaller set of data, and there are some missing values in the data, right? So the generic thing that you might see on websites on different online learning websites are like you can just use median mode, or you can just copy the data that's above that, like the previous data, and just paste it as is, right? So when I'm dealing with a smaller data set, this might not be the best solution, because that might affect my analysis by a lot. But while I'm dealing with a larger data set, these small missing values scenarios I can handle in those way, and the analysis might not be affected by that much, right? So first thing, it depends on the volume of data. Next thing, it's always like it's do not hesitate to go back to the stakeholder, go back to the manager, and discuss the problem statement again, right? But before going back to them, have something ready from your side. Come up with, okay, so there's two ways to approach any uh, stakeholders, right? Once you have the data, you see, okay, there are some missing values, let me get back to him, clear my doubts. So that will, like, think of it from the manager's perspective. They'll think that, okay, you saw the issue, you just came back to me, you did not spend some time going through the data and understanding what might be the best solution to it, right? So spend some time with the data, right? Every time you do some analysis, spend some time, you will know that, okay, this might be like these many ways might be the probable ways of handling the situation, and then go with those set of solution to the manager, and then discuss that. So that will show that not only you are trying to have the answer quick, but also you're trying to go through the data yourself and trying to understand it for better analysis. So it's not bad to go back to stakeholders, you can, but go to them with some insights from your side. So
Have you faced any such instances till now? Could you
yes, I
please
have.
elaborate the situation, like
Yeah, I
the
mean,
real thing, what you faced, and how the further conversation went?
yeah, I mean, what happened is like, uh, the client like made some request, open-ended request, like have these things incorporated in your system, right? Open-ended questions. I went through the question. I thought that, okay, something is missing, I do not have the complete picture, I do not know what the client exactly needs, right? But before going to them, like before asking the question to them, I, like, let's say, they wanted to add a feature in that particular in a particular page, right? I went through the page. I thought of, like, I viewed the page as the client, like what they are seeing and what they would want us to add to it, right, based on their initial requirement. Now if I have something from that, it's good, I can take it back to them and then discuss. If I do not have anything, I just ask them for a quick call, like 10 minutes call is enough to understand what the client needs, right? So I get on a call, they discuss, they tell me that, okay, this is exactly what they're looking for. I understand, okay, this is the problem that they're facing. And like, it's not always like, I have to accept each and everything that they are asking us to do. That we can counter back, we can ask them to step back if it is not required that much, or again, if we can brainstorm on the idea or what things we can do to implement or to achieve what the client wants. So go through, like what I did was like go through the page on, and see it from the client's perspective, think of the ways that we can implement that what client have asked, and then get back to them with those initial findings, and then discuss on that. So it's always better to have an open conversation with the client on these things, right? We like, I was also like, when I joined the company an year ago, I was hesitant to get back to the client, but it's not like that, like. And the stakeholders or the clients, they are not involved as much as you are involved with the data, right? So you know the data in and out. So it's better to have a go at the data from yourself first, and then have some findings from yourself, and then discuss that with stakeholders or the clients. So that will give a complete picture, and it will reduce the number of back and forths you have with the client. So this is how I would approach these kind of problems. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ayush. I really appreciated the way you explained it.
Yep.
So basically, the collaboration between us and the clients to
Exactly.
resolve this issue, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yes, thank you, Ayush.
Hi
Okay, I
everyone.
guess we'll just take one more question from Tanisha, and then
Yeah,
we'll
we'll keep your questions ready. We'll take all these or question at the end. We
yeah.
let us go with the flow.
Yeah.
Hi
Okay.
everyone.
So
So I have been looking for data analyst roles as a fresher, and it's been, I think, nearly 10 to 15 days I have started applying. So I am spending nearly 4 hours on LinkedIn and Naukri searching for roles, but I end up finding only one or two roles where I can apply. Like some are asking for experience, or in some roles my skills are not matching. So I am feeling like maybe I am searching in the wrong way, or there is something missing in this chain. So can you tell me how can I search better and start getting interview calls also?
Yeah, I saw your message. You posted it in comment like this is your question. So it's not about like getting the response. Once when you are looking at the 100% perfect match to what you are looking for, That is not going to work because most of the JDs are written by the recruiter. They don't know what they're looking for. So even if your job description and your skill matching of 60%, you can apply that position. So don't look at that 100% matching to the job description and your skills. Do that thing, one thing. And if you are spending 4 hours on daily basis on LinkedIn, I don't know how you are spending that time. I could say if you are spending on Naukri, if it is hardly 30 to 40 minutes is enough for a day. And for LinkedIn, you can spend as much as, but it depends on how you are spending. So if you are spending most of the time applying the job, that might not be the good way. You have to reach out to the hiring manager or the recruiter who are actively hiring. Then showcase your skills, show your portfolio to them. Like these are the things I am doing. These projects I have done. I have the hands-on experience on doing this. Can you consider it for any interview or scheduling an interview? This the way can help you to get the job.
So, like you are saying, reaching to HR, uh, I should reach to HRs who are having openings or any random HRs.
Uh, you can, if you are opening, that is the best scenario. If you don't see any opening, you can reach out for the future reference. Once you are look at around, if yes there is opening, at that point of time you can message them. Hi, we are connected in the LinkedIn, and I saw you are posting about this opening. So I have this much of skills. I have experience on this. I am working on this hands-on experience. So you can consider me in that way. Mostly, if you reaching out the hiring manager, that's the great way. More than recruiter, because hiring manager have the capability enough to, if there is no opening, they can create the positions and hiring, because they have create the pipeline for the future hiring also.
So, like in some openings, I see they need R instead of Python. So I should apply in such
Yeah, you
scenarios.
should apply such scenario. That's really fine, because that's what I am saying. If the job description matching with 60%, we are good to go. You apply on that. Let's look for the responses, because most of them are written many things, but all are just not required. Like they written like we need Excel, Power BI, Python, SQL, all these things. At the end of with working with the Excel only. That most of the case I saw this. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
don't
always like,
hesitate to apply.
yeah, you only need like one interview to go well, right? And to get
Yeah.
an interview, there might be multiple interviews that you fail. So don't be afraid of failures, right? I would say. And like,
Mm.
it's not like, okay, I'm not meeting all the requirements. Should I apply or not? Apply. Okay, let's
Yeah.
see what happens. If you get the interview call, it's the best. If you like do not get hired, it's also good, because you learn something and you keep notes of it, and you know that okay, next time I'm going for interview, I should improve on these areas. So to getting to that one particular interview that will go away everything, you need to go with like you need to pass all these interview failures. So it's a process, it's a long journey, Tanisha. So uh, try to build
Yeah.
up the network, and as Saurabh mentioned, that try to reach out to more folks on LinkedIn, and that will definitely
So
help.
if you are more focusing on Naukri, so try to analyze your track in Naukri, like how many recruiter are coming to your profile, how many visits are going on, and how you are optimizing that. Look at these things, but because that's need a lot of time to optimize the Naukri. Although I get the most of the responses from Naukri, so it's all about optimizing your Naukri. So
Yeah, in Naukri, I'm updating my profile in morning and in afternoon, like uploading the resume or
yeah.
maybe making slight changes.
Yeah, that is the first step. That is everyone doing right now. That is the one things. But what
Yeah.
next? That's matter. You have to think about the next step, because these steps are doing the everyone right now. So what next? You have to figure it out.
Can you tell something?
You have to. That's what I'm saying. You have to analyze. This is not like generic thing. Like everything is work for everyone. Like you look at your profile visiting number, it is growing or gradually, or how it is happening, in which day it's going on. then only you have to change the keywords accordingly. Most important things is like your headline and summary. You can look at the previous session is conducted by IDC only. She explained all these things from starting to end. Sahib, you can share that link, recorded link. People can watch that.
Yeah,
How
it's
to,
available on our Indian Data Club YouTube. I'm sharing the
yeah,
link here, and you can also check this later.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for this session. It was very useful.
Okay,
On this
let's go
note, I
ahead.
want to add one point.
Yes, yeah.
In my case, hiring managers are pinging me in LinkedIn saying that your profile is a good match for this role, but asking for a resume, portfolio, everything. When I reply, they don't even reply to me saying that on the next processes. I've been observed like more than 10 people, HRs pinged me, we have an opening for you. But when I send a resume with all my details, they're not replying to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Why is it
that's
so?
happened most of the time. The most solution for that is like follow up. Do as much as possible to follow up. Don't irritate, but follow up in the regular basis, like in effective way. Like I said, like he follow up weekly basis. You can do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it, but I don't know.
Happen. Even if I am facing a lot in that case, like they ghost anyway. So that's the part of the journey, I could say.
Fine. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
let's go ahead.
That's it.
The questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I guess you guys have already seen what the next question we will be discussing. And I also saw like someone posting in the chat that to address this question around career gap, how to address this question. So first and foremost, I would say uh, the most important thing, the most important trait that you will learn while working in the company is accountability. Like, be accountable of what you have done, right? Acknowledge, like let's say I'm in an interview, the interviewer asked me like, okay, I see there is a career gap in your resume, like for such and such month or years. What was the reason for it? Like, can you please elaborate on that? So first of all, acknowledge that there is a career gap in your resume, and then mention, like, be honest, like as we mentioned before, like be honest, stay calm, be honest, and mention that okay, this was the reason that I that there is a career gap in a resume, and during that particular gap I was not sitting idle, I was just trying to learn more stuff around, like let's say around data analytics, around AI, ML, and all those stuff. And like, try to showcase that you were trying to learning new stuff, you were upskilling yourself, and you were future focused, like you were trying to learn new things, right? So that will definitely show confidence in yourself into the recruiters, because like even if you do not have confidence in yourself, then how would the recruiters be confident enough to hire you for that role? So be confident enough, acknowledge the fact that you have a career gap in your resume, clearly explain what you did in the career gap, what skills have you learned. And right now we were discussing this in the interview, right? So that will definitely show interest, that you are interested in joining the company and you are future focused, right? So I would say that's the best thing to do while you are trying to, while you get these questions around career gaps in your resume, in your interviews.
Absolutely. Even if I could say, I have also 1.8 year of career gap. I am transitioning from different domain to data analytics. So even I also face the same question, but not all of the time. But yeah, a couple of time I am also facing this, and some of the recruiters you would say like upfront, like we don't hire someone who have career gap more than 1 year. This answer is going to be you may face, but don't worry, there is a lot of companies who are ready to hire for the person who are in the career gap. So it's all about showing that what you exactly doing in your career gap or at that point of time. Are you doing something which is really impactful? Are you doing some projects? You show like I do hands-on projects. These many projects I have done. These many things I have learned. This is the domain I learned. That is going to really help me the while working in the your organization. This is the way. I mean, be honest. be genuine. Whatever you're doing, try to explain those, and try to explain that how what are the things you can bring to the table. That's the most important thing. This
Exactly.
is the way you can explain the things. So let's go to the next question.
Thank you for adding those points, Saurabh. Those were great. Okay. Next one we have is like it's another uh, common question that we face in our behavioral rounds. Like, tell me
That's a tricky,
something.
tricky question, I could say.
It's tricky. It's definitely like startles us saying that okay, what next? What do I need to explain more about myself? So, like, how we should tackle this question is like, let's say, like, think of it from the manager's perspective or the person who is interviewing you. What do they want to hear? Like, in your resume you have already mentioned that okay, I know these tools, I have worked on these projects, I worked for these companies, I have increased their sales or such and such in such and such metrics in your resume. You have those things, but what you do not have in your resume is like, for data roles I would say, particularly, alongside, while you are very good at analyzing data, you need to be a good storyteller, right? You need to have good storytelling experience of like showcasing your data to the stakeholders, because they do not have the complete picture of what the data is and how we analyze it, right? So you need to have this trait of storytelling of how you present the data in front of stakeholders, so you can present that in the interview. Like, think of, you can present some unique experience that you faced while doing a project or while doing your uh, any kind of projects in your company. So you can share that experience and share that okay, this is how I projected themselves, projected the data in front of stakeholders, and that is another trait that I have, right? Another thing that you can mention is like, you are always trying to upskill yourself. Like, right now it's like AI is taking over all places, right? So you can mention that okay, uh, I'm going with pace with the current ongoing trends around AI and ML, and I'm trying to learn those stuff as well. So that will show that okay, you're not only a stagnant learner, you like just learn the things and just keep it as is, but you're also trying to do more, you're trying to achieve more, you're trying to learn more, right? So you will that will show that okay, you are a constant learner, and that's one of the best trait that any recruiters is looking for in a candidate, right? And another thing that you can mention is uh, analytical thinking. So what I mean by that is, like, as I mentioned before, that the data out there is huge, right? So analytical thinking, what it means is, you get the data, you break it into different parts, you go back with questions on the on the stakeholders or anyone that gave you the problem statement. You analyze the things that you need to do, like you set up a plan and then you start working on it. So this is what is analytical thinking is, right? So you break the bigger problem into smaller chunks and then achieve it one by one. So these all things, yeah, you can prepare a story like around these things. You can present it, you can blend it every together, and then you can present it to the recruiters. So that way I guess it will be, it will definitely add some good points to your in the application process. Okay, now like we are done with all the interview preparation thing, all the things that we need to have before interviews. After the interview, what should we do? Like, this was the point that I mentioned, that most of the folks do not do, but it's definitely a game changer. So I'll let sort of discuss this. So over to you, Saurav.
Yeah. So here is the thing we are discussing a little before, like follow up. So whatever it might be, the interview that might be good or bad, it doesn't matter. But try to follow up. Once you're done with your interview, just write a mail, thank you mail, that it's a great to talking with you and I learn a lot of things, and write in such a way that that show your interest towards that organization or to that company. That shows that curiosity you have. So try to do those because very few people do this, because of once we have the interview doesn't goes well, we feel like bad, and we get back and do learn these things. But if you put this type of mail, follow-up mail, that might help you. They might think, yeah, because what happened in that every interview you are not able to answer the thing, even if you know the answers. So that's also happened. If you do these things, maybe they give the another chance to you. So try to do those things that might help you. And next thing is analysis. You might think, oh, what did they mean by analysis here? So it's all about, you all are trying to want to be data analytics, right? So before you are become analyst, um, do first analyze your things, like how many jobs you are applying, how you are responding, which platform you are responding. Do all the analysis on your data first. If you look at last 1 or 2 months data, and you find like you get most of the responses from Naukri, so you should spend more time on Naukri instead of LinkedIn, right? So you have to analyze the in that way. So this is why we add this slide. So try to do this. And so this is the final reminder. We added some points here to reminding you all of these things. This is the hour we are going to end up this or slides. So what is the final reminder? It is simple, like progress over perfection. What does mean actually? We always think to be 100% ready. Like once when we are start applying, when we think like we are 100% ready, we learn all these things, then we are start applying. But you shouldn't do that. It's not about you have to complete the course or complete all of the projects, then you start applying. Don't go for perfection. So go with the flow, right? So even if you take rejection, step forward, go ahead. Like this is what mean by like progress or perfection, because nothing is perfect here. So try to do improvise in the day by day. This is the what progress. So this is